Good morning, everyone. It is December 23rd, Sunday morning. We're 2 days away from Christmas, and I don't have anything really Christmas-related to speak about today. I just wanted to get a podcast out, and there's something that's been on my mind for a while. I jotted down these notes a few months ago. I've just never gotten around to doing anything about it. But I want to talk about what the left wants us to accept and what the left refuses to accept. This is not just the left in America, but the left all over. However, these points I'm going to make are specifically targeted at what the left in America does. First off, the left wants us to accept Marxist socialism. Now, this is evident in the fact that they have, elected people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They almost made Bernie Sanders president. And they've got a few other people who are self-avowed communists and Marxists, in office, or either now or in the past. Anyway, Marxist socialism has been responsible for the deaths of over 100 million people in the 20th century alone, mostly by communist governments. I want to point out. We're talking about the Soviet Union, Red China under Mao, and Cambodia. Just to name three. They've been responsible for more poverty and misery than even crony capitalism, which is not true capitalism, has ever caused. Okay, crony capitalism I hate. It is not true capitalism. Adam Smith warned us about it. It is a travesty of capitalism. It only hurts, not helps. It helps only a small group of people at the top who have money and who are out to screw everyone else with the help of crooked politicians. Okay, the left wants us to accept illegal aliens who break our laws the moment they cross our borders uninvited, who take in more government-sponsored benefits funded by American taxpayers than they contribute, thus putting a drain on our economy. I believe they were saying if the wall costs us $5 billion, which it's going to cost more with overruns, but if the wall costs us $5 billion right now, we're looking at half of what we spend currently to take care of illegal aliens. That's a big drain on our economy. We would be cutting our expense in half. Okay, illegal aliens also take those benefits and causing needy Americans to go with less than they otherwise would. They're on welfare, they have free health care and so forth, and because we have to pay for them, we have less money to give to those Americans, both those born here and those who have been legally immigrated here, who are truly in need and they can't get the help that they need, thanks to our helping illegal aliens, people who should not even be here. Some states and universities have adopted a policy of granting free tuition to illegals, but legal residents of those states have to pay tuition. So it's not just the elderly and the infirm who are being screwed over because of our economic support of illegal aliens. It's, even young people. As I said before, they get free health care thanks to Democrats, bureaucrats, and I guess many rhinos, while Americans have to pay more for their insurance to cover the cost of that free health care that illegals enjoy. So the middle class is getting slammed again because of illegals. So we have the entire spectrum of America, the entire spectrum of American citizens being harmed because we are supporting illegals and thus taking away money that could be used to help Americans. And now the left also wants us to accept Muslims. That's a group of people who refuse to assimilate and openly disrespect our laws, our Constitution, our culture. They openly state they're not going to obey our laws. They proclaim they'll be loyal to Sharia, not our Constitution, even as they cower behind constitutional protections to which they should not be entitled. After all, if you don't believe in the document, why should you use it to hide behind? Why should you use it to advance your agenda? That's because you're weasels. They create discord in the world wherever they go. Just look at Sweden, Germany, Italy, anywhere in Europe, okay? Anywhere in Africa that they're in power or trying to get into power. They bring a rape culture with them. They are misogynistic. They treat women almost as bad as they treat dogs. And I've seen videos, many videos, where they are shown torturing dogs. They hate dogs because Muhammad hated dogs. So he probably got bit when he was a kid or something, I don't know. But they torture dogs and they laugh about it. They accept zero criticism. Okay? You can make fun of Christians and so forth, even the far-right fundamentalists. They're not going to come and kill you in the middle of the night. You can even make fun of Mormons. They're not going to come and kill you. Maybe that was the case a couple of 100 years ago, but not now. Let's see. Okay, they also engage in quote honor, unquote killings. Honor killings. You kill your daughter because she kissed an infidel, a non-Muslim. You kill your daughter because she's marrying or dating even a non-Muslim. Wow, you really are barbaric, backwards. And the worst thing about them is they believe in taqiyya. And this is how they fool people, fool Westerners who are very naive. Even ex-Muslims tell us that we're being naive. Taqiyya is in the Quran. Muhammad told people that it is all right for Muslims to lie to infidels, to advance the cause of Islam. You get that? It's all right to lie to us so that they can advance their cause. They can advance Islam and Sharia. They're foisting it upon us slowly but surely. They planned it. The Muslim Brotherhood planned it back in the 50s from Egypt. They said they would take over Europe through the bellies of their daughters, of the infidels' daughters. They're doing it. There's been such an influx. And the politicians in Europe who have allowed, and even in America, who have allowed this influx of, quote, migrants, unquote, these refugees, these people are just here. They're all mostly military-age young males. They're coming in here, and they are trying to subvert Western civilization by taking it over, by infiltrating it, and they're getting into our political offices and everything. This is an unsustainable situation. One of two things will happen. Either the West will turn Muslim and civilization itself will collapse, or we're going to have a civil war in these countries to throw these people the hell out, send them back to the shitholes from whence they came. And I blame the left for wanting to bring these people in here. They're paid off. They don't give a shit about the future. They think that they're going to be, invulnerable to whatever. I have a little talk I'm going to give one of these days about the overall plan of the elites, the globalist elites, to implement Islam and Sharia as a way of controlling the world, basically. What a better way than to have everyone in a religion in which apostates, anyone who disbelieves, anyone who disobeys is killed. But I'll get into that in more detail some other day. Let's get on to what the left refuses to accept. They refuse to accept the fact that while slavery existed in the United States for less than a century, 87 years to be exact, it has been abolished for almost twice as long as it was legal, 155 years and counting. They refuse to accept that white guilt is downright stupid and uncalled for. None of us alive today have ever owned slaves. And I believe any former American slaves are no longer living. I may be wrong about that, but I don't think there's anyone left. So why feel guilty about something you were not personally responsible for, something that you abhor? Okay, they also refuse to accept capitalism, the system that, while perhaps imperfect, has made us the wealthiest nation on earth, has brought more people out of poverty than any other system ever conceived by man. Not just in the United States, mind you. Look at Hong Kong, Singapore, places like that. Anywhere where capitalism has been allowed to reign free has more people with money, more people with jobs, more happier people than those places that are ruled by the left, by Marxist policies. Capitalism also gives equal opportunity to all to better their lives. It's not a guarantee, mind you, but a chance to rise above your birth station. No other political system gives you that. No other economic system gives you that. The left refuses to accept Americans who love the United States, no matter what the sins of the past administrations and Congresses. you know, every government in the world throughout history has done terrible things. And these terrible things are all done in the name of government. But it seems the left is only willing to condemn the United States. And the United States happens to be the country that has corrected most, if not all, of its wrongs. Every time we get something that we realize is wrong, slavery, discrimination, whatever, we correct it sooner or later. Yet they hate our country. They, put us down all the time and try and say that other countries are superior to ours. They'll point out that Sweden is a socialist country and they're doing fine. They're not. Even the Swedish minister, it was Sweden or Denmark, I forget which, came out and said publicly, we are not a socialist nation. But that's going to be a talk for another time because, they say, oh, you get free healthcare and free this and free that. You know what? Nothing's free. People pay for it either in, money or with their lives. But I'll get into that in the future someday. The left refuses to accept that Donald Trump is our duly elected president. Every single day, these people are out there screaming about it. They don't respect the opinions of Trump supporters. They instead shower us with nasty names. Racist, Nazis, fascists. Meanwhile, they, the left, are the ones who are actually acting like racists, Nazis, fascists. This is the first generation, these millennials, that is actually against free speech. They don't want to hear opposing opinions. They don't want to debate anything. They just want to shut you up. They want to censor you. They want to give up our First Amendment rights. How stupid can you be? This is brainwashing from the university, from academia. Government-controlled schools have been brainwashing kids for decades now. And you see the results. They're not good. Anyone on the left who deviates from their official or unofficial lines are immediately castigated publicly, made to apologize for stupid things that should require no apologies. I mean, come on. Comedians can't even make jokes these days. You can't express an opinion. It doesn't matter if you have the power to implement your opinion or not. You can't even express an opinion that is contrary to what they want you to think. And to top it all off, the left has a limited, if any, sense of humor. They chronically complain about any jokes they don't like, calling the jokes racist, bigoted, and so on. They're chronically offended by anything and everything. Look at what's happened with Christmas songs lately. And their censorship is not limited to political views. The only thing they find humorous is vicious so-called comedy attacks on conservatives, Republicans, true Republicans. I don't give a damn about the rhinos. They're traitors to the principles of the party of Lincoln anyway. They're traitors to the people who elect them. They viciously attack and make fun of Christians. Meanwhile, you won't hear one single thing against Muslims. I wonder why that is. Maybe because Christians won't come and kill you in the middle of the night? They make fun of Mormons because, what's his face? The guy who founded the Mormons had visions and he wrote down what the visions were and made the Book of Mormon. They make fun of that. They even made a Broadway play about it. Two guys I really love, the creators of South Park. But in that case, I'm kind of against it because I just thought it was a target they shouldn't have gone after. Why don't people go after Islam? Muhammad had visions and he wrote everything down that he claims he saw. Nobody criticizes that. And finally, I've met many self-avowed socialists and even a few Marxists who admit to being outright communists. Not one of them has a positive outlook on life. To me, they all seem dour, pessimistic, and inwardly unhappy. I had the unfortunate experience one time of meeting Howard Zinn, a paragon of the left, because his, quote, history, unquote, books do nothing but tear down the United States. What a miserable fuck. I'm glad he died miserable. He deserved it. What a sourpuss bastard. Well, Merry Christmas, everyone. See you in I guess day after tomorrow, maybe after Christmas.